John Beltran back from Erie High School, where the Brush Beaters are on pace for 80 points tonight. They lead going into the second quarter, 20-12. Jared Spooner with 10 first-quarter points. Seth James at 8. And the Beat Diggers have the ball first. Ely, Spooner, Sergio Salcedo, Seth James, and Kyle Lynch will set up the Erie lineup in just a second. Lynch left of the free throw line, back out to Ely near midcourt. Michael Chambers in there for these Erie Tigers, along with Dwayne Perry. They basically are going back to their starting five. Bounce pass, right baseline, Spooner, layup up and no good. Ball is tipped around once, twice, into the hands of Salcedo. Now to James, 10-footer, yes, for Seth James, and that big rebound by Sergio Salcedo provided another opportunity for the Beat Diggers. They're back up by 10, 22-12, 40 seconds into the second. In the left corner with the basketball, Seth Holstrom. Back out on the right side to Finleon, all the way, layup off the glass, no good, and Chris Finleon is fouled. He will go to the stripe. And the Beat Digger foul was on Jared Spooner, his first. And that's going to be the strategy for Erie. Get Spooner into foul trouble because he is obviously the best player on the court. The first free throw by Finleon is no good, but the second one is in. The Brush lead is 9, 22-13. As we approach the 7:10 mark of the second quarter, Lynch in the high right, looking down low, feet Salcedo. Salcedo double team, kicks it back out to Ely. Ely at the top of the key on the high left to Spooner, penetrating left baseline, jump pass inside to Lynch, and Lynch is fouled. He was corralled. It looked like Seth Holstrom got him across the back. And they're going to call it, I believe, on Chase Hefner instead. And Ely to throw it in with an even 7 minutes to go in the second. Ely bounce pass. No, he's going to kick it back out to Spooner. Well, he motioned down low to James and didn't do it. Instead fed Spooner. Back on the high right to Kyle Lynch. Lynch the bounce pass to Spooner on the high right. Spooner looking down low, dribbling to his left. Can't feed Salcedo. Up top to James on the high left to Kyle Lynch. Lynch holding the ball on his right hip. The Beat Diggers not moving too swiftly on this possession. They're taking their time, being extremely patient after running up and down the floor in the opening quarter. Bounce pass from Lynch to Ely for the bucket. And the Beat Diggers on that perfect give and go have a 24-13 lead. Their biggest lead now is 11. Here is Chambers for Erie into the lane. In the left corner, wide open three is up and swish for Seth Holstrom. He drilled the triple. The Brush advantage down to 8 at 24-16 with 6:09 to go in the second. Ely with the basketball, feeds Lynch on the outside left. Lynch guarded by Holstrom, dribbling to his right, bounce pass to James. James looking back to his left to Lynch. He was wide open, left corner for Spooner. Penetrates left baseline underneath the basket, and he walked on the baseline. He dribbled the ball actually on the baseline. Spooner's committed 3 turnovers. The Beat Diggers have 4 in this game. Spooner will take a breather, so it's Salcedo, Sopris, Ely, James, and Lynch for Brush. And it's Michael Chambers, Chris Finleon, along with Cody Hesse, and a couple of other members out there. The three-pointers off to the right, and taken by Chris Ely on the rebound. As Finleon misses the shot. Here come the Beat Diggers. Ely back out to Sopris. Sopris left baseline, wants to shoot, feeds it back out to James. Up top to Ely. Now Michael Chambers out on top of him. Out there again with Hefner and Finleon and Hesse and Seth Holstrom. Beat Diggers just moving the ball around slowly. They've got 4 points in the opening 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And Dan Kennedy, sensing that the rhythm is not there, he'll call a timeout. 30-second timeout with 5:16 to go, second quarter. And the Beat Diggers leading 24-16. They're certainly not moving the ball around the perimeter like they did in the opening quarter when they scored 20 points. The Beat Diggers will play 2 games in a span of about, well, you figure this is a 7:40 start tonight, and if they win this game tonight, they'll play at 1:30 tomorrow. So we're looking at a span of about 18 hours where they'll play 2 games, 17 to 18 hours. We are at the top of the hour. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, and Greeley. I'm John Beltran, live from Erie High School in this Patriot League tournament consolation game. And the Brush Beat Diggers lead the Erie Tigers 24-16. Nick Sopris to bounce it into Chris Ely. Ely dribbles by 2, kicks it back out to Sopris, and he will set up the offense at the top of the key against Hefner. On the outside right to Ely, now to Sopris, left wing to Lynch. Now the Beat Diggers moving the ball a little bit quicker. Lynch looking, lobs it into Salcedo, terrible pass, and that is picked up by Finleon. He picks it off, 5th turnover. On the other end, Chambers, left baseline, slams into Sopris. Offensive foul on Michael Chambers. That also results in Erie's 3rd turnover. The Beat Diggers have had an 11-point lead, their biggest advantage. And Erie led 2-0, and that was it. Once again, the Brush Girls lost a close one tonight, 54-49 to Strasburg, a game in which the Brush Girls led by 9 going into the fourth, but they lost by 5. With the basketball is Sopers in the high right to James, looking down low. Feeds it into the lane to Lynch, all the way, scoops it up, and that's short. And the rebound is pulled away by Chris Finleone. Across midcourt is Holstrom in the right corner with the basketball. Now into the lane is Finleone. Ball stripped by Ely, picked up by Finleone. Back out to Chambers, and that pass thrown out of bounds, intended for Holstrom in the corner. And Erie commits their 4th turnover. And C.J. Kukas and Jared Spooner will check into the game for Brush for Kyle Lynch and Sergio Salcedo. For those hard-to-find parts, see the Parts Pros at Parts Smart CarQuest at 1025 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. The Brush lead is at 8, 24-16. Ely spins into the front court at the free throw line. Jump pass inside, taken by Kukas, and he lays it up, blocked out of there. Ely grabs the ball, and he puts it up off the glass, and then Chris Ely down low underneath the basket scores his first point of the game. Beat Diggers up 26-16. Excellent play by the Erie defender Chris Finleone, but the Beat Digger, Chris Ely, right place, right time. Chambers at the free throw line, back out to Hesse. On the outside right, Finleone. Here's Chambers right at the free throw line, slams into Ely, no call. Finleone all the way, scoops it up off the glass and no good. And Jared Spooner has the ball right into his hands. His 5th rebound of the game. 3:47 to go in the second. Brush leading by 10. Ely with the basketball. And he will slow down the pace on the high right now to James. James lobs it down low for Kukas. Kukas lays it up and in off the glass. He had position on the much smaller Chase Hefner. And the Beat Diggers now lead 28-16, their biggest advantage. The bounce pass on the outside left to Chambers with 3:25 to go before the break. In the right corner, the 3 is up by Holstrom and good. He nails the triple off that pass from Chase Hefner. The Erie deficit is down to 9 at 28-19. 3:11 to go before the break. Spooner on the high left with the basketball. Lobs it down low for Kukas. Turns, shoots. That's well short. And the rebound controlled by Chase Hefner. Hefner on the outside left to Holstrom against Nick Sopers. Sopers picks him up. The ball is lost, but into the hands of Hefner. Hefner will retreat towards the timeline, dribbling against Spooner. In the right corner, Holstrom. That 3 is up. That's an air ball. But the rebound taken by Chambers, and his left foot was on the line. So no rebound. His left foot came down on the line as he grabbed the board. And Lendon Hartshorn comes into the game for Chase Hefner. Beat Diggers out there with Ely, Spooner, Sopers, Kukas, as well as Seth James. And Hartshorn, Holstrom, Michael Chambers, as C.J. Kukas has the basketball. Cody Hesse. And down low is Ely. Right baseline. It's off the side of the backboard. And the rebound controlled by Cody Hesse. And again, Lendon Hartshorn, the 5th member of the Tigers. 2:23 to go before the break. Rush leading 28-19. Here's Chambers spinning in the lane. He's fouled. That will only be the 14th foul. And against Chris Ely, that's his first personal. And to throw it in will be Hartshorn to the right of the basket. The Diggers led 20-12 after the opening quarter. This is a more defensive-minded quarter. Hartshorn to trigger it in. Still looking. There's the 5-second call. Turnover number 5 for Erie. The Beat Diggers have 5 turnovers as well. And let's see if the Beat Diggers can nail another one of those triples and go up by 12, which is their largest advantage so far. Ely with the basketball. Over to Spooner at the top of the key. Spooner, jump pass down low for Kukas, but threw his hands out of bounds. Turnover number 6 for Brush. And with 2:11 to go in the second, Erie's got a shot to make this a 6-point game with a 3-pointer. And you've really got to watch out for Seth Holstrom. He's nailed a couple in this game. On the outside left is Hartshorn, dribbling to his right, top of the key for Chambers against Ely. Back out to Hartshorn. Hartshorn left to the free throw line, back out to Chambers. Chambers left to the lane. That pass is tipped away, intercepted by James. James to Ely, 2-on-1. Ely right side to Spooner. Layup is up and in off the glass for Jared Spooner. As Brush forces the turnover, the 6 for Erie. And Spooner with his first point to the second quarter. He's got 12 in the game. And the Beat Diggers lead by 11, 30-19. 1:35 to go before the break. Chambers at the free throw line against Ely. Picks up his dribble, backs it out to Holstrom. And then Chambers ran through a pick and ran over Nick Sopers' offensive foul. Wow. Sopers took that contact like a man. I mean, he went to the floor hard, but he's okay. And Kyle Lynch now into the game for Chris Ely. Silvers is tough. This guy will take charges at any time of the game. Welcome home to your hometown grocery store featuring Morgan County's largest variety. That's the Brush Grocery Cart. Silvers with 1:20 to go before the break. The Beat Diggers lead by 11, 30-19. Over to Spooner. Jump pass. Free throw line. James down low for Kukas. Lays it up with it. Off the glass to the right of the basket for C.J. Kukas. And Seth James found his man. The Beat Diggers up by a baker's dozen, 32-19. 1:07 to go. On the right baseline with the basketball fouled. Over there is Chris Finley on by Seth James. James' second foul. And that's the 15th foul. And to throw it in will be Hartshorn, three-quarters court with 64 seconds to go in the opening half from Erie. And Jeremy Delorier about to check in. Hartshorn to throw it in. And he's going to feed Finley on the right baseline against C.J. Kukas. Back out to David Lunny, who just checked in. Lunny bounce pass inside. And the ball is tipped away, intercepted off the hands of Hesse to Kyle Lynch. 3-on-3. Lynch middle of the lane, all the way. Shot is blocked from behind and tied up on the block. Wow, what a play by Cody Hesse. And the change of possession gives the ball to Erie. The ball really never got out of Lynch's hand. That's why it was called a jump ball. I mean, that was a major league block there. And with 50.1 seconds to go, Erie will have the basketball as Delorier is into the game. And the Beat Diggers leading by 13. With the basketball, it's Finley on between two, and that was careless because it was picked off by Lynch. Lynch with a 3-on-2, but he's going to back it up. Lynch back out to Silvers. Silvers wanted to pull up from 15 feet. Lynch. And let's see the Beat Diggers take the final shot of the opening half. We're down to 28 seconds to go, and Brush leading 32-19. Spooner retreating near midcourt. Guarded over there by Finley on. And hands it off to Lynch. Lynch to the right side with 18 seconds to go. Bounce pass down low for Kukas. Lost it, and it's into the hands of a Tiger and David Lunny. That's the 7th turnover for Brush. 10 seconds to go. Lunny crossing midcourt with 8. Picks up the dribble on the high left to Holstrom. Into the lane all the way. Scoops it up off the glass. No good. Ball is tipped around and saved in by Delorier, but the Holstrom 15-footer in on the left baseline just before the buzzer. And Erie gets a basket, but the Beat Diggers still lead by 11 going to the break with the score. Brush 32, Erie 21. It's a 3-minute break at the break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.